Hello everyone, welcome to Divine Debut. This is Kathy speaking and thank you for being here. These are your Jupiter in Sagittarius readings and I am doing for each sign looking at the astrology of course, but also at the tarot. So for those of you that are interested in the astrology part of the reading, I've put that part of the reading at the end because a lot of people like to go straight onto the tarot. So this way I can have both parties being happy. So I'd like to make a couple of announcements. I will have beneath in the description box below when the tarot starts, and also the link, actually the timestamp will be down the bottom for the astrology part of the reading as well. Now in the description box I will have the cards that I'm using, the tarot, whatever cards I'm using here today, so I don't need to mention each card. I'd like to say, first of all, happy birthday, Capricorn. Many happy returns to you. Happy birthday. This is your solar return. It's your time to shine. And I'd also like to thank Capricorn as well as everyone else, but Capricorn because they are coming first in views, so they will be granted the free timeless reading. But Virgo is waiting on their free timeless reading, so that's going to be uploaded first for Virgo, and then gradually in the new year I will have the new reading, the bonus reading I should say, for Capricorn. Now look out for January till June 2019 in the next 2-3 days. So I'll be doing the first 6 months of 2019 readings, and then towards the mid 2019 year I will do the second part of the year, and I will let you know about that when they're uploaded. So January 1st to 15th readings of course will be up very soon as well. And today's actually the 28th of December. We're almost finished this year. It's been a tough year for everyone. Bring on 2019, I say. I know through working with people and, just generally looking at the vibes, the energies, it hasn't been easy. So bring on 2019. I'd like to thank all of you in advance for being here, for being supportive of my channel, for following me on social media, everything that you do. Thank you so much. And hopefully 2019 will be a much better year. And I'm looking forward to working with all of you. Thank you again. I'm sending you my New Year's blessings from now. Big thank you from my heart. It's been amazing. What a ride. Thank you from the deepest depths of my heart to all of you, each and every one of you. Even just for writing, for commenting, for liking, whatever you do, you are very much appreciated. And I do hope that my work and my, giving to you has helped you along your path. That would, that humbles me and that makes me feel so happy. Now, just to finish up, I've got a surprise that I'm going to announce in about a month or so. I'd like to tell all of you that on the 22nd of December, when Mercury conjuncted Jupiter, and Mercury is my ruler, I'm a double Virgo. On that day, on the 22nd of December, I had a beautiful surprise. And, it was as though I felt something was coming. And I'm going to announce that early in the new year, as soon as I have more details. Just a little something that I'm really thrilled about, and I'm sure all of you will be, for me, and it will be interesting for you to see in relation to my channel. I will get back to you on that, but I will keep you waiting, because I'm waiting on news as well, so I can't tell you exactly what's happening until the new year. So look out for that. I will keep you posted. Now, I'm going to do a spread where I will be, because we're doing Jupiter in Sag, as an example, just showing you, so I don't have to explain to each and every one of you. Let's say we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, because Jupiter transits a sign, it takes 13 months. Because Jupiter moved into Sagittarius, its own home sign, on November 8th. It will be moving out of Sagittarius on December 2nd, 2019. So I'm doing November, December, January. This is the position. How Jupiter will affect you and your sign. This is November, December, January. Here we have February, March, April. Here we've got May, June, July. And this position here will be when Jupiter will be getting slowly ready to move out of its home sign of Sagittarius. So this position will be August, September, October, and November. Okay? And then I will be pulling a card from the Mythic Oracle. I will put the description, the information at the bottom in the description box below. And I'm taking one card, and here it just happens to be Aphrodite. So this is the Mythic Oracle, and I absolutely love it. That will be your general energy. And I'm also using Lenormand as well as Vera Sibilla for more clarity. And of course the Romance Angels. Okay, so as I said, all the information is in the box below, so just to give you a general overview of what the reading will be about. Alright, now on to the readings, and for those of you, don't forget, that want to listen to the astrology part, I just go into a few more details about Jupiter in Sagittarius and its retrogrades, how it's going to be retrograding. So for those of you that are interested, don't finish the video at the end of the tarot reading. Alright, thank you to all of you. Hello Leo, welcome to Divine Debut. This is Kathy speaking. Thank you for being here. This is your Jupiter in Sagittarius reading. Today is the 29th of December 2018, and this transit will be in force from November 2018, the 8th of November, until the 2nd of December 2019. So you can always come back and check this reading out again, see if anything has come true for you. And if this is not your reading, please watch your moon and rising signs, dear Leo. So for you, dear Leo, Jupiter is in your 5th house of romance, children, true love, risk-taking, shining your light to the world, anything that you've given birth to creatively. And Sagittarius, of course, is about truth, foreign places and people. Some of you may be dealing with someone who's at a distance. The 5th house is the house of children as well. Some of you may be falling pregnant. Congratulations if that's the case. Sagittarius is also about higher education, philosophy, going on an adventure. Jupiter is expanding your knowledge, expanding to see the higher, the bigger world. You get a big perspective on what's going on in all those things that I have mentioned, dear Leo. Now, Jupiter is in a fire sign. You're a fire sign, so this is very positive for you in that sense. Now, also, Jupiter will be squaring Neptune throughout 2019, so if you want to check out what that means, stay on till the end of the reading where the astrology part of the reading is. And let's see for Leo, spirit guides and angels, what is showing up for Leo What is Jupiter blessing Leo with? Okay, so I'm splitting it into 4 quarters. The first quarter is November, December, January, and you have the Ace of Wands in your foundation. Okay, beautiful. Next quarter is February, March, April. Now this section here, January, is the eclipses. So there's going to be major change, things happening quickly, drastic changes through eclipses. If you're not on the right path, you will be put on the right path. That's what the universe does. Wow, the High Priestess, February, March, and April. So we're still in the eclipse time. Okay, now the High Priestess is the axis Virgo and Pisces. Some of you may be on the cusp with Virgo, or you may be dealing with another Virgo or Piscean person. You may also have your moon or rising sign in Virgo or in Pisces, so could go either way. Let's look at the crowning area, which is May, June, July, and that is the time when Jupiter is retrograde. July is also eclipses again, and that's around your birthday for you early born Leos. We've got the Chariot, and this is the time of Cancer. So some of you will be moving at this time, even though when a planet goes retrograde, we're supposed to redo things. It's a time of going over things. Now, Cancer, if you are on the cusp with Cancer, they just had the Chariot card there in the same position, but it was in the reverse. So the outcome card, August, September, October, and November, we've got the Three of Swords. Ooh, dear Leo. Let's see what else. I will be pulling some more cards. Not an easy card to get there. Let's take an astrology card for you. Now, when I see air qualities, this is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You may be dealing with either of those signs. Now, the Three of Swords may not even be your heartache and your heartbreak. You may be breaking the heart of someone. Of course, they could be doing it to you as well. Let's see, Leo, in the astrology. Okay, this card was asking me to take it. How you think, communicate, write, talk, and travel. Mercury, the messenger of the gods. Mercury can be the trickster, but Mercury is always about logic. He is the messenger of the gods. Speaking of the gods, let's take a mythic oracle of the ancient Greek Pantheon. This is all about the mythology, the gods, and the heroes. Let's see what it will show up for you, for Leo. This is the first time I'm using the Mythic Oracle in my readings. I absolutely love it. I will be reading from the booklet at the end of the tarot reading. So if you're interested, stick around. You can retrieve messages through the written words through the book. Okay, I think this is your card, and we've got Hades, death. Oh my God, dear Leo, number 15, which is like the devil. Oh my God, so you are dealing with someone who could be like Hades, like God of the underworld. Let's take the top card as well, because it was hoping to come out and it was a choice between the two, so I'm going to take that. What else do we have? And we've got Aphrodite, beauty. Now it's funny that with Venus, which is Aphrodite, Venus, the goddess of love, is in Scorpio, which is the underworld. Now recently she was literally in the underworld when she was retrograde. So, you know, this could be a process that you're going through. Venus has not finished up in Scorpio yet. She's still at 20 degrees. So she's in the starting her third decan, which is the last 10 degrees of Scorpio. So that'll be interesting at what happens with Venus at the last decan of Scorpio before she moves into Sagittarius, and she will meet up with Jupiter. So now Hades is number 15. He adds up to a 6 if we add him the number up. And 6, of course, is the house of Virgo. 6 is also the number of the lovers. Could be a decision that you're needing to make. And 29 adds up to an 11. A new doorway. Closing the door on the old, opening the door on the new. Through death comes transformation. The transformation for you may be something to do with beauty. Now, Aphrodite is Venus. So Venus rules Taurus and Libra. Libra is the house of partnership, relationship, the other people, whoever they are, whoever you are dealing with. And Taurus is the sign of value. Again, the 5 senses, the physical body. And, comforts. So here with Mercury, it says how you think, communicate, write, talk, and travel. So you could be dealing with anything to do with writing. You may be creating something. You may be communicating something which will bring a drastic change. Talking something, talking your truth about intimacy, with Venus being in Scorpio right now. When Venus goes into, when she ingresses into Sagittarius, she'll be a lighter energy, which is good to know. At this time, it's very important and, to speak your truth. Mercury is all about communication. It's all about logic, using your left brain, doing the math. Okay, some of you may be dealing with, as I said, with a Cancerian. We've got the Chariot here. Now, the North Node is in Cancer, okay, and Cancer is the 4th house of family, foundation, children. Some of you may be literally moving away from a family situation. You may even be moving house. Now, Hades, and I will be reading, as I said, from the book later on, Hades was the god of the underworld, so Hades could be, and it's like the devil card. So this could speak of too much work, not enough play. This could speak of addictions, restrictions, any situation that you feel bound by. Too much alcohol. Be careful with Jupiter squaring Neptune next year, the whole year. Too much of a disillusion through drug abuse, alcohol abuse, anything that you overload with. Jupiter expands and grows. There is a lot of course, Neptune can be the divine love, a spiritual love. The higher, Neptune is the higher octave of Venus. So that could be a spiritual connection which could be very important for you. Let's take the romance angels and see what's happening in your love life, dear Leo. So we've got, I'm going to say Capricorn because we've got the devil. We've got Taurus, Libra, Cancer. We've also got Air, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And as well as a Virgo I've already mentioned with Pisces. Virgo and Pisces as well. So let's see. Now Gemini would be the strongest energy in the air qualities because of Mercury. Mercury rules Gemini. It's the left brain. It's the logic. Again, Mercury is all about education. Sagittarius is higher education. Oh, okay. 2 cards for Leo. Cool. So what fell out first? Right on top of the Ace of Wands, we've got attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. So at the November, December, January time, there is strong attraction. It fell right on top of the Ace of Wands. What else? Leo, soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. Now, some of you may be dealing with someone who is very sexually alluring to you. This could be someone who works very hard. This is someone who has got strong power over you. There is a magnetic attraction, strong sexual attraction, as well as soulmate energy. Now, none of the signs have received this card yet, out of all the signs, dear Leo. And the Ace of Wands is an ace up your sleeve. For those of you that are beginning a brand new relationship, and this can be an intimate relationship because of course, the sexual attraction, the Ace of Wands. Okay, this is the spark that lights the fire. This is like the rocket that's going to take off. So November, December, January, hold on to your hats for that. Someone is coming into your life. Now, this could be someone that you already know, but this is, and when I say know, could be from your childhood, could be from a previous life, because soulmate energy speaks of a karmic relationship. Soulmate is from a previous life, yes. Twin flame, soulmate, similar energies. Let's see what else we've got. So, again, Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo could be sun, moon, or rising that you're dealing with. Because you are a fire sign, I'm saying that your partner, your soulmate, more than likely would have rising or moon in fire. Okay, the High Priestess here in the position of February, March, April, straight after the eclipses, says that there are secrets that you're holding on to. Use your intuition. You've got it. You are the High Priestess. You need to trust your intuition. You're not letting people know what you're up to, what you're doing. This is the Moon Goddess. Some of you could be into the occult, doing tarot, being the spiritual guru, advising others, you know, opening, helping enlighten and awaken others. Because, Leo, I think that you are already awakened with this card here. Now, the High Priestess, again, is a number 2, which speaks of balance, relationship, as well as, I see it as a number 11. You all know this. I've said it a million times. So let's see. I will take some more cards and see what that's about. Now, 7 is a spiritual number. It's the divine. There is, the light is coming from above, as you can see. Look at the amazing chariot here, and I said famous. I said famous, dear Leo. For some reason, there is strong success here in anything that you have created. Anything to do with the occult, with spells, with magic, with beauty, with hard work. Some of you may be in the beauty work, anything to do with beauty. And Aphrodite, she's the goddess of love, and she's the goddess of, you know, values, what we value in our life. Okay, so any new ideas that come to you are going to help you move along, overcome any obstacles. Some of you may be literally moving to a distant place. This is the time of Sagittarius. You may be spreading your wings through, you know, the World Wide Web. That's what Sagittarius is. They have a bigger view of the world. You know, they like to go on an adventure. And as I said, the chariot is Cancer. So Cancer is your foundation, your home, your family. Could be your mother, could be your father, could be your parents, your heritage. Here in the August, September, October, November section, the outcome is the Three of Swords. There is some sort of heartache, disappointment here. This is the Three of Swords, so that could speak of any sort of entanglement between, you know, three people. This is a card of perception, language, spoken truths, anything like that. Let's take some more cards. So there is some sort of a disappointment in love. Now, you could have someone in your life, Hades. Now, it's funny that with Aphrodite, I just did Cancer and I was talking about Aphrodite going into the underworld when she was retrograde with Hades. And here it is. Here is Hades. Here is Aphrodite. I believe that you're working through things that happened whilst Venus was the night star when she was in the underworld. Okay, and that was like 2-3 months ago. Today is the 28th of December, 2018. She had moved all the way back into Libra. She had retrograded at 10 degrees of Scorpio, went all the way back to Libra, can't remember exactly the degree, and then came back into Scorpio. And then when she passed that 10th degree, I should say that when she passed that 10th degree, she came out of her shadow period, but she did move direct. Do I have the information here? I can't quite remember. I think she was at the end of, hold on. Yes, she came out of shadow, so that means she was retrograde. Yes, when she came to 10 degrees of Scorpio, she came out of the underworld. Let's take the cards. First position here with the Ace of Wands, we've got the Fool, which is a brand new cycle, taking a risk in relation to anything that you feel passionate about. Now, this is the energy of Aries. Mars is still in Pisces at 27 degrees, right on top of Chiron, which is the wounded healer. Mars rules Scorpio and Aries. Mars, the warrior, you know, the god of war, is moving into its home sign of Aries. So everyone's going to be powering up and striving for what they want to create, what they want to fight for. So you are beginning a new journey. I believe that the eclipses are putting you on a new journey, a new cycle this is, dear Leo. Let's look at the High Priestess. February, March, April. So that would be Valentine's Day and after the eclipses of January. The High Priestess position. We've got Justice. Wow. Wow. Another 11. Okay, Libra, which is the house of partnership relationship. Number 11. Wow. Okay. So some of you are dealing with legal matters. Some of you may be getting a divorce. You feel very strongly about this. Others of you are just finding your balance in relationship, partnering up with someone in business and not letting people know about it. Let's look at the Chariot. And we've got the Page of Cups. So there is an offer coming through from probably a Cancerian person, someone who could be wanting to move in with you, someone who may want to be part of your foundation, your home. Okay, this could be an offer of moving in together. This is an offer of love. The Page of Cups is unexpected, and usually this is Piscean energy. Because it's unexpected, we usually have the Fish. Page of Cups could be an apology that's coming through. This could be many things coming, many offers coming through, different offers that are going to catch you off your feet, off your guard. And Page of Cups is an unexpected apology that could be coming through. And it could also be a child, a youthful energy, a message that's coming through from one of your children. For those of you that have children, they're offering you their cup, the cup which is the Ace of Cups, which is going to make you very happy. So I will be taking some Sibillas. Let's look at that Three of Swords. What kind of a disappointment is that? And here we've got the Knight of Wands, which is Sagittarian energy. Usually this is the player of the Knights. Now this is action. This is passionate energy. This is movement. Spontaneous, quick movement. Sometimes, as I said, this could be the player. Now the Knight of Wands is someone who doesn't think but they act. Some of you may be traveling because of disappointment, because you are starting a new cycle. You may be traveling, you may be moving away from a situation. Let's look at another card now. Knight of Wands, again I said is Sagittarian. Some of you may be moving to a distant place. Let's take another card. And we've got the Hermit. This is Virgo. The energy of Virgo is here again, dear Leo. So for those of you that are on the cusp, again, this is a time of enlightenment. This is a time of, you know, becoming the wise one. We've got the Hermit, which is very spiritual. We've got the High Priestess, which is very spiritual. This is one step before the Wheel of Fortune. But this is information coming from the divine. Now, this could be information that you found out, which is hard for you to understand, how could I say, to forgive. Whatever information comes through or whatever you come across, whatever detective work you do, and this could go the other way as well. Someone else could be hurt because they're finding information about you. Now the Hermit has the light, and the light shines his path forward. This could be you taking time out to meditate. Let's take some Lenormand. Some of you could be dealing with a Virgo. Okay, we've got strong Virgo here. I'm going to take one Lenormand, logically one on each position. What's this Ace of Wands and the Fool? We've got the Fox. Now the Fox is a number 14, which is the number of temperance. Temperance is your spirit guides and your angels. It's also a card of healing, but here we've got the Fox. So it speaks of intelligence. It also speaks of sneakiness, okay? The Fox does things without people knowing. It can be quite, you know, sneaky in its the way it does things. It can speak of betrayal as well. Let me take one more card right next to it. And we've got the Cross. So this could be a heavy weight on your shoulders. It's a number 36, which adds to a 9. Now, Temperance number 14 adds to a 5. So whatever you find out, whatever betrayal you find out about, that's what's going to move you into a new cycle. Now, the Cross can speak of faith. Now, Sagittarius is all about faith, spirituality. The Cross can be bearing your cross. It's a heavy weight on your shoulders. Okay, but it can also speak of faith. So, yes, Sagittarius is all about faith. It can speak of suffering as well. and some sort of a loss. Let's look at the High Priestess, the Justice card. And that's in the position February, March, April. So after the eclipses, we've got the Sun, which is beautiful. Number 31 adds up to a 4. The Sun is the most beautiful card in the deck, in the Lenormand. It speaks, it's your energy, that you are ruled by the Sun. So you're receiving clarity, you're seeking true love, you are receiving true love. The Sun is all about, you know, being loved and nurtured and being taken care of. The Sun is also true love, it's children, it's our ego, it's having a healthy ego, and it's also a card of healing. Let me take one more, and we've got the House, another 4. So the House is healing through family, clarity through family, support through family, your foundation, support through your, you know, your extended family, whatever that is, whatever you bring to light, dear Leo, is going to bring stability to you. Whatever happens in February, March, April will bring you happiness, and it will bring you joy, it will bring you healing, and it will bring you stability. Let's look at the crowning cards, which is May, June, July, which is retrograde period as well as eclipse period. So we've got the Chariot and the Page of Cups. We've got the Tree, which is a number 5. The tree speaks of health. It speaks of your foundation, your heritage, your family, stability, everything like that. Let me take another card. And we've got the Fish. This is beautiful. So this is success in business. This is happiness. This is beautiful. Unexpected, and it's right on top of the Page of Cups. Whatever offer comes through to you, is going to help you prosper. It's going to bring in a lot of money. And you're going to have a long life, dear Leo. This speaks of a long life. And it adds up to a 7. So again, this is the divine moving you to a better place. When? Whilst Jupiter is retrograde. May, June, and July. And that is around your birthday if you're an early born Leo. Let's look at the outcome position, which is August through to November. So we've got the Whip, the Rod, which is a number 11 again. One moment, please. Sorry about that interruption. I want to take one more card on that. Now, the Rod can speak of arguments, disagreements, strife, but it can also speak of something very positive coming in suddenly. Okay, so let's see what else. And we've got the Dog, which is a loyal friend, a companion. Now, 18 is the number of the moon. Now, with the eclipses, we're still in eclipse energy here. Now, 18 is also the moon, so the moon rules the home, the family. There is loyalty. There is a loyal friend that may want to build a home with you. Okay, this is man's best friend. So there is someone who is very loyal to you, that is there for you. You are not alone. Know that you are not alone, and you're one step before the Wheel of Fortune. What I want to do now is take some Sibillas. So you've got a soulmate coming through, dear Leo. Now, we do have the Knight of Wands here, so this could be someone, so Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. I want to say that the Knight of Wands, yes, could be someone who is a player. This could be someone who is wanting to actually settle down, okay? The Knight of Wands could be someone who travels a lot for work. Let's take the Sibillas and see more. See more information. Let's see on the foundation We've got denaro, matrimonio vantaggioso. Sorry, my Italian is not that good. This is an advantageous matrimony, which says that it is like the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so you could be starting, it could be starting here. Your luck could be starting at this time, dear Leo, November, December, January. Okay, with the first eclipses, and we know that the eclipses always change things up. Now, if we look at the number here, this is the Six of Cups, which does speak of children, but also playing innocently. There is trust within a soulmate relationship here. Let me take another card, of course. We've got Consolante Sorpresa, which is a number 6 again. Something unexpectedly coming through quickly. Left field. It's like the Uranus energy, which Uranus will be moving into Taurus of our values. Here we've got Alegria. So suddenly money could be coming through as well. This is the beginning of a new business, taking your business to the next level. This is taking a relationship to the next level. And some of you, for those of you that are beginning a new cycle, metaphorically, literally, I see a time of celebrations here, as well as, you know, a lot of going out, celebrating, being around friends. Friends or family could be, I suppose. Let's look at the second quarter. We've got Sospiria, which is like the Three of Wands. Whatever you have planted, whatever you have invested in is you're waiting for it to come back. Here we've got the Artista, which is the genius. Okay, there is some sort of a discovery happening here. Something that was hidden from your eyes you will know about. Now, Sospiria is looking across the seas, so you could be thinking of travel. The Artista is the crazy scientist who could be a solicitor. It's the Seven of Cups, right? It's like the Seven of Cups, which speaks of illusions and disillusions. Be careful. Try to, you know, see things clearly, go over things. Donna de Servizio, this is the Virgo energy. You've got a helper, a friend, a servant here. This is very positive energy. Here, you've got help through some discovery. Now, you could be dealing with a partner that sits behind a desk. They could even be at a distance. And maybe this is the time when you're thinking of travel. Let's not forget you've got the Fool card, which is all about it, going on a journey. This is very Sagittarian, the adventure. Let's look at your crowning position and the retrograde time. We've got Gran Consolazione, again from a 7, having everything that your heart desires. We've got 3 sevens here already. We've got the Chariot, which is a 7. The Fish adds 34, adds to a 7. And we've got the Gran Consolazione. We've got Bambino, which is another 7. 4 sevens are 28. 2 and an 8 add up to a 10. And that breaks down to a new beginning, of course. Now, this could be a literal child. This can be a metaphorical new beginning here. Some of you may be falling pregnant. Others of you, you know, have been hoping for a newborn, a child. Okay, so your soulmate may also be a father already, because we've got the Bambino here. Now, this is just an energy. It's speaking of something new coming in, yes? And there's the dog again, the loyal friend. So they're in your life from mid-year, from May, June, July. But I feel as though they're here already because of the 7 here, another 7. So they may have strong Aquarius. Aquarius would be the crazy scientist strong Aquarius in their moon or rising sign. If not, they could have a stellium of planets, or even their north-south node, or their Mars-Venus, depending on if they're male or female. Wow, okay. And we've got Allegrezza al Cuore, which is 3 people dancing around. We've also got 3 people here. Could this be a love triangle? Because the card fell here, there could be deception here in a committed partnership. Yes, there could be deception with the fox here. Now, it's also a light-hearted energy for those of you where there is not a love triangle. Let's look at the outcome position, which is the 3 of Swords, the Knight of Wands, the Hermit, the rod, the whip, I should say, and the loyal friend, loyal companion. So we've got August, September, October, November. Look at that. Look what fell here. The Hierophant. And this is all about faith. It fell right on top of the cross. It's a number 13, which is death and transformation. This is it's on top of the Denaro, which is like an abundant wedding. This could be a promise of commitment. This could be someone who holds secrets, okay, about what they believe in, anything to do with family, commitments, even business. Now, this is the man who stands alone as well. So this is the spiritual guru. That's what Jupiter is, you know. Sagittarius is the philosopher, the spiritual guru. Let's look at, I was saying, the last position. And we've got Amica, confidant, best friend, harmony, as well as legalities. Here we've got the Vedovor, looking at the past, being stuck in the past, having lost something, being in mourning, something from your past, someone or something that you lost. Now this could be your loss, a literal loss, or your partner's loss. Maybe they've lost a family member, who knows. But here we've got Constanza, which is constancy. This is like the 10 of Cups. Okay, this is like the 10 of Cups. Now this could speak of Europe, going to a spiritual retreat. We do have the Hermit here, going somewhere where there is, you know, ancient ruins, where it's a very spiritual place. I want to say ancient place where there is strong energies. Okay, there are places in the world that people go to for spiritual enlightenment. They meet up with others. They go on a spiritual journey. You could be doing that, dear Leo. Let's look at one more card, because the Constanza means something unchanging. Yes, it does speak of Europe. Some of you may be traveling to a European country. Let's take one more, and we've got the Vecchia Signora, which is, and it does say Viaggio, which is a visitor. So you could be visiting someone, or someone could be visiting you. Now this could also speak of a situation that is maturing. This is a long-term situation that's come to the point of maturing. Vecchia Signora could be someone that's also advising you. This could be a grandmother, a mother. Some of you could be visiting your mom. I want to take a card on Hades, and then another card on Aphrodite, which is beauty. Hades is death. And as I said, it's a number 15, which is the devil energy. And wow, dear Leo, 10 of Swords. So there is backstabbing from Hades. Okay, there is someone who is a Hades in your life, and it's time to complete this cycle. We've got a 10 here, which breaks down to the Ace. Ace of Swords, which says that you're standing in your truth. Okay, that's enough. That's the darkest before the dawn. Let's look at Aphrodite and beauty. And we've got the Five of Wands, which is, fives always speak of change coming through. Now this 5 can speak of disagreements, not being on the same page, but it could also speak of, as you can see, these people are coming out of a tree trunk, which says that it's 5 people trying to stabilize some sort of a foundation. Now this could be through work, that there are, 5 people trying to build on something. I don't know if the number 5 is significant for you, but 5s always bring in change. Wow. Queen of Swords. Three cards just fell out. Queen of Swords, 9 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles. Okay, so we had Queen of Swords, I would say, is your energy. You're obviously cutting someone out, for sure. Here we've got Venus in Virgo. So when Venus is in Virgo, even though it's not very strong, that could be the time when you're cutting someone out of your life. Queen of Swords is someone who speaks their truth, and whatever does not work, she will cut them out. Okay, she's all about written, spoken. Remember Mercury, how you think, communicate, write, talk, and travel. This is communication, clear communication about a family situation, about the family money. Okay, the 10 breaks down to the 1. This is the Ace of Pentacles. And here we've got the 9 of Wands, which is a burden. So this Queen of Swords is protecting her home, her family. So if this is not your energy, then this is an Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. You've already got Libra there. Okay, so the Queen of Swords speaks her truth. Venus in Virgo is bringing a lot of money. It's the family money. It's the family business through work, because wands are always about working hard. It's your vocation, putting in that effort. And then just, if this is on an emotional level, the Queen of Swords is someone who just looks at the facts. She distances herself emotionally and just looks at the facts. Now, having the Pentacles here in the foundation, it does speak of family. Again, the family money. Now, whatever you've created, whatever you've created, here, we've got the drawer is full of money here, dear Leo. Something good is coming through, even though it's a burden for you. Now, the Queen of Swords could be another family member, someone that you're dealing with, someone who speaks their truth. It could be a mother, could be a sister, could be, if you're a male, this could be your partner, someone who looks at the facts and they're a little bit, sometimes their truth can hurt. But know that this person, whoever this is, will always speak the truth, and they're not one to lie, okay? It's all about the truth. So, these cards I was really shuffling to take on Aphrodite. Nevertheless, I will put them here. I also, now I would like to read upon, and I'm thinking that if you've been, for those of you that have been in a long-term committed partnership, or not even committed, but just, dealing with someone who was like Hades, the devil in your life, I believe that there is a change here with the 10 of Swords. This is the end. You're speaking your truth, and you're going for what is beautiful. This is, Aphrodite is a number 11, remember? Let's read from the book. I think I've taken enough cards. Dear Leo, let's read from the book. For those of you that don't want to stay for the messages, the written messages here, thank you so much for being here, liking, sharing, and subscribing. Let's see what Hades speaks of. Okay, the myth. Hades is the son of Rhea and Kronos. Kronos is actually Saturn. He is the ruler of the underworld, the land of the dead. The underworld is a deeply complex place described by poets as having many areas throughout that make up its totality, including Tartarus, which was an equivalent to hell, the Elysian fields, fields reserved for the virtuous and heroic souls, similar to heaven, and the asphodel meadows, in brackets, where the indifferent and ordinary souls are said to dwell. In mythology, the underworld is a vast, complex, and well-guarded landscape. Now, the message here is, death is a constant part of life. Old cells die and new ones are born. The day comes to an end and a new day begins. The appearance of Hades in your cards today signifies that a very deep personal transformation is occurring for you at this time, and you are being asked to surrender something linked with your identity and sense of self within the world. This may be a particular belief system, status, job, relationship, grievance, or general thought pattern. Whatever it is, it has served you until now, but further progress requires that you now release it. If you have felt frustrated with life or the world around you, it is likely you have been directing your attention to the wrong source. What needs transformation now is you. Your life is only a reflection of your innermost fears and beliefs. Ultimately, the fear at the moment is of losing a sense of self, and death requires, excuse me, a sense of self, Ultimately, the fear at the moment is of losing a sense of self, and death requires us to be larger than the self. The part of yourself you are afraid to lose is based in illusions, rooted in self-importance, identity, and the ego's basic need for comfort and reassurance. The true essence of the self isn't lost through the removal of those ego-based attachments, but rather comes to life once they are released. Now is the time for you to release your fears, strip away your illusions and ego-based attachments so that you may step into your true essence, your true life. And this could even be a message for your partner if you are not resonating with that energy. Let's look at number 29, Aphrodite and beauty. Zeus, the king of gods and man, came into power by killing and overthrowing his father Kronos, whom he castrated, throwing his genitals into the sea. From where they fell, a white foam arose, and Aphrodite rose, fully grown and beautiful from within it. Aphrodite, like Eros, has a dual birth myth. Another story places Aphrodite as the daughter of Zeus and Dione. The goddess of love and beauty, Aphrodite represents the nature of romantic love and beauty born from both the ethereal and physical realms. The myth of her birth expresses the divine nature of the erotic and the complexity of its connection to romantic love. Aphrodite was known to have many lovers and explored the realms of love and the erotic in great depth. So the message of this Aphrodite card is Aphrodite in her beauty represents desire and the will to pursue love. She represents the spark that ignites passion, the invitation. Aphrodite is all about erotic love, but remember, the erotic and sex are two very different things. The erotic is about being taken out of the mundane, and it evokes a sense of union with something greater than ourselves, often speaking to the primal part of our nature, the sublime. Sex itself is just an act and can all too often be devoid of the erotic due to our culture's tendency to repress or deny that which is uncontrollable. So I hope you're with me and you understand that there is a different, there is the erotic love, and there is sex. Sex is the act of, being intimate, whereas the erotic love is, two souls that join together. Now, beauty is something that can never be defined in a concrete way, as what is beautiful to one person, culture, or period is different to another. Therefore, beauty goes beyond something physical and speaks more about what is radiated from within. It is a belief held within a person, an essence and connection to their own sexual and sensual nature. Now, I'm not going to read the whole thing because it will take forever. It says here, in pulling this card today, you are being encouraged to connect to the beauty within you and in the world around you. And it also says that you are beautiful in and out, dear Leo. So this is a beautiful message. Such different energies. And as I have said before, with Aphrodite here and Hades here, this takes me back to when Venus was retrograde, retrograde in Scorpio, when she was down in the dungeon with Hades. So what happened in your love life back then, dear Leo? And this is a general reading, so if this does not resonate for you, please go and watch your moon and rising. There were so many messages here. I'm so happy to have been able to give you these messages. You do have the soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. There is a sexual attraction as well as, a spiritual attraction, connection here from your past life, whatever this is. Soulmate is the most positive card in the Romance Angels. I do hope that you appreciate these messages. Sending you lots of love. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting, dear Leo. Stay well and talk to you soon. Okay, for all of you astrology lovers, Jupiter in Sagittarius. Okay, as I said in the introduction, Jupiter moved into its home sign of Sagittarius on November 8th, 2018. That was actually St. Michael's Day, for those of you that look into saints, that are Catholic, or even I'm Greek Orthodox, and for us that's a very big day. It's St. Michael's Day, and Michael is my spirit guide as well. So Jupiter moving into its home sign of Sag on that day was a very, very special day for me. And I think that Jupiter's blessings for everyone is very, very different and very, very giving, very abundant for most people. Now, not everyone has got the same astrology. Not everyone is born on the same day. Of course, we're all affected in a different way. But I believe that the blessings come through in different ways for each and every person. Because I believe that as a collective energy, Jupiter being the planet of abundance and expansion and growth, I believe that Jupiter brings blessings. So Jupiter moved in its home sign on November 8th, 2018. It will be there until December 2nd, 2019. So that's 13 months. It's not a year, it's 13 months, just under. So now what is Jupiter? What does it do in its home sign? Well, obviously it's very strong. It's very potent. It feels very happy there. Very happy. Now Jupiter is, and I should say Sagittarius is all about truth, spirituality, foreign places and people at a distance. Jupiter can rule any legalities, legal issues. It likes to expand on everything, even the view, the way Sagittarius looks at the world. It's a big, open place out there. It's a place where you can go on adventures and explore. So you've got a very wide angle of seeing things, as looking at the world as being the bigger picture, looking at things from a wider angle. Sagittarius is also higher education, becoming the guru, looking into studies, becoming the teacher, becoming the educator. So furthering your studies to the point where you can actually become the teacher. That's what Sag is. Now, Sagittarius is a fire sign, so it's very, go get 'em. It's an action sign. It's a sign that's ruled by fire. So it's very passionate. It's very spontaneous. And it's a very, very, very positive energy. So Jupiter, being in its home sign of Sag, gives that back to us. It likes to expand and grow and bring luck. So that's why today I did these readings on the tarot, to see through the astrology and through the tarot how each astrological sign could be affected with Jupiter being in its home sign of Sag. So I'd like to now go on to one or two things that are happening with Jupiter. Now, Jupiter, through the year, through its transit of Sagittarius, will be squaring the other big player, Neptune. Now, Neptune is the ruler of Pisces, and Pisces can be quite delusional. Now, Neptune is also it's the higher octave of Venus. So what is Venus? It's what we value. It's what we place love on, what love is for us, what we treasure, what is dear and important to us. So Neptune being the higher octave of Venus. Now, Neptune is actually in its home sign of Pisces. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. So it's, Neptune is completing a very, very big cycle, because Neptune stays in each sign for about 14 years. So that's a very big transit. Now, it's at 14 degrees of Pisces, so it's practically halfway. So it's, coming to midpoint of Pisces, and that's a very important time for whichever planet is transiting its home sign. Now, because Jupiter moves much faster, it does the astrological, it does the horoscope every year, whereas Neptune is much slower, and it takes 14 years to finish, to complete each sign, not the whole astrological zodiac, okay? So it's, the further out the planet is, the more potent its energy is, the stronger it is. So we're going to have, for quite, throughout the year of 2019, we have Jupiter squaring Neptune. Now, as I said, Neptune can be delusional. Neptune could be also the divine love. Neptune is spirit. So Jupiter is expansion and growth and looking at the bigger picture. Now, Jupiter can expand on the positive and the negative. Mostly, I would say on the positive, because it's a lucky planet. But when we've got difficult aspects like squares in astrology, that's it's an aspect of difficult tension, difficult energy, which, tension brings change. It's like, pulling a rubber band where it breaks. If you pull too much, the tug of war, let's say, which I usually say that the the opposition where one planet is opposite the other one in the zodiac. That's my tug of war aspect. Now, the square aspect is like pulling on a rubber band. And if you're not careful, that rubber band is going to break. And that's where, you can wreak havoc. That's where you can have a lot of trouble. But sometimes going through difficult energies through action, because that's what squares make you do. They make you take action, and therefore comes the change. So we just have to be careful with squares to try and work with the energies, go with the flow, see, use your instinct, use your intellect, feel into the energy, meditate. Now, this is what we have to look out for. We may be feeling more suspicious, more paranoia, more paranoia. I'm getting mixed up with the Greek word because that is a Greek word. We call it parania in Greek, but in English it's paranoia. So we may be feeling that over the time, and I will tell you when it will start, when Jupiter will start squaring Neptune. As well as that, we may be feeling very over-optimistic, too trusting, or we may be idealizing a romantic interest. Let's say we're interested in someone. We may be wearing rose-colored glasses and, being disillusioned of the feelings of the other. So, that's looking at the bigger picture, Neptune is spirit, of course, but it's also disillusion and illusion. So we're looking at something through rose-colored glasses. We're looking at it as being amazingly grand, huge, and so lucky with Jupiter. So be careful with shattered illusions. Now, this energy could also be testing your faith because you may be disappointed. Yes, that's in the mix as well. Beware, and if you have any disappointments, and they could be major disappointments because of Jupiter and the expansion that it makes on things, use your faith. Trust in the universe. Trust in the divine order. Trust in the divine outcome, and trust that you are not alone. Whatever you're going through, there is a reason for that. There is always a reason behind whatever happens. Now, also be aware of deception. Neptune can be deception, and Jupiter can expand on that. Now, also in relation to resources, things that we own, you may not feel as secure as what you thought you would be. Even though Jupiter in Sag can bring abundance and can bring a lot of good things to us, Neptune could also be the disillusion, the illusion of having more than what you really have. And also, very importantly, avoid gambling and drugs. It's not a good time at all. Now I'm going to go into the exact squares, when these squares will be taking place. So on the 13th of January 2019 at 14 degrees and 22 minutes, that will be the exact square of Jupiter and Neptune. So they will be squaring exactly 3 times in the year 2019. So the first square, the exact square, will be on the 13th of January 2019. On the second time that they meet up exactly will be on the 16th of June 2019 at 18 degrees and 43 minutes. But at that time, Jupiter will be retrograde. So we always know when a planet goes retrograde, yes, its energy is more potent because it seems as though it's stopped in the sky, even though it's not really stopped. It's just an illusion. It's our view from Earth, the way we see it. And of course, it's closer to the Earth. It's closer to us, and that's why it gives the illusion of retrograding. So, yes, Jupiter will be retrograde at that time, and so will Pluto. And therefore, again, Pluto's energy will be much more potent. And guess what? Saturn, Kronos, the Lord of Time, the Lord of Karma, and Pluto is the Lord of Karma, I should say, and transformation. These three big players will all be retrograde. So, Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn will all be retrograde on the 16th of June 2019. Mind you, July, I think it is, when we have the when we're going to have the eclipses. Yes, if I'm not mistaken, it's July. So June, July, very important time of year. Where are we? Just let me tell you, okay, on the 2nd of July and on the 16th of July are the next eclipses. So June, July, very important time of year. Oh, wow. It's going to be important. Now, always with retrogrades, we know we have to go within. We have to, it's a time of working, going inwards and redoing things. So that's, the chance that we're given from the divine to work on things that we need to work on. So if we're not on the proper path, we need to be put on the proper path. Now, third time that they meet up in the sky, on the 21st of September 2019 at 16 degrees 59 minutes. Now, Neptune will be retrograde then, as well as Pluto. So again, the big players, whenever we're talking about the outer planets, Pluto, Neptune, Saturn and Jupiter going retrograde, it's very important. It's a massive time of change. So hold on to your hats for those dates. When we talk of the precise time, that's when the precise aspect, they're right, the square will be exact. So any time just before, I would say, is the most important time, because that's when, when they're coming to become exact, when they're coming closer and closer to the degree to be exact, that's when it's the most strongest and most potent energies that we're going to feel. Once they hit the exact point and they start to move apart, it sort of softens a little bit the energy. Okay, just so you know, it's coming up to those dates where it's the strongest of all the energies. Now, I'd like to also say one more thing before I finish up, that Jupiter going retrograde on the 14th of January 2019 at 14 degrees and 30 minutes, Jupiter will enter its retrograde zone. It does not mean that it's retrograde. It means that it's going to be at the degrees that it will be working on. Okay, so it stops, it will sort of start to slow down, not stop, slow down at 14 degrees and 30 minutes, right? On the 14th of January, it will start to slow down. It's as though, to give you an example, it's as though it's lit up, just like the sun is lit up, the sun is light. Once it starts to move into its shadow period, its light starts to dim slowly, slowly, slowly every day. So once we get to the 10th of April and Jupiter will be at 24 degrees and 21 minutes, that's where it's going to stationary and retrograde. Now, when I say stationary, it means it will stop. It will have the illusion that it's stopped, and it will start slowly to start turning retrograde. So think of a ball that's turning, 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 and it stops. That's where it's at its most potent time. And then that's when it's stationary. Then it will start to turn the other way. So it's going to start turning retrograde. That's the time when we go inwards. That's the time where we have to try and communicate in a more practical, more, how do I say it, in a more precise manner. So we have to go over things. We have to check things. Anytime when there's a retrograde, there is miscommunication. Also, we have time to go within and work over things, redo things. That's what retrogrades are about. So, from the 14th of January till 10th of April, that's its shadow period. That's when it's slowing down. 10th of April until the 11th of August, it's actually retrograde. So that's about 4 months of Jupiter being retrograde. Now, on the 11th of August, it finishes its retrograde at 14 degrees and 30 minutes. So that means that it's come back to the time, to the point where it started its shadow period. Okay, so it's going to go over the same point where it started to slow down. So that's working over things, redoing things. You get what I mean? Hopefully. So it's back to 14 degrees and 30 minutes on the 11th of August. Okay, and it will be going over that time again. It is stationary direct though now on the 11th of August. So that means that it was going retrograde, right? I should go that way. It was going retrograde. And then on the 11th of August, it actually stopped. And it's stationary direct, so it's very potent. And then it starts to go direct, right? From 14 degrees 30 minutes until the 5th of November, when it will leave its retrograde zone. It will be at 24 degrees and 21 minutes when it is out in the clear. It is finished totally from its retrograde period. Now, 5th of November, it's about 3 days before St. Michael's Day, which is amazing. There's another blessing because Jupiter will be outside of its retrograde zone. So it's like it's covering, no, it's not like, it will be covering new turf. Now it's going to be at 24 degrees and 21 minutes, which means it's at the last 6 degrees of Sagittarius. And wow, I mean, at its last 6 degrees of its own home sign, it's going to be flying. And that's where it's going to be showering everyone with its gifts. And we're all going to be, with our hands open and saying, thank you. Thank you for the blessings. Thank you, universe. Thank you, God. And thank you to whoever you believe in. That's when Jupiter is going to shower us with its gifts. So looking forward to that. All right. Now, I hope that, for those of you that are expertise in astrology, you really didn't need all this explanation. This was for those people that really are not very familiar with the astrology. So I hope that was quite clear for you. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being here. I'm sending you blessings for the new year, for 2019. I will be back with more. Okay. Bye, guys. Thank you.